Hello everyone, come on in. This is my book club number 10 for my my newest baby out there, A Radical Awakening. So a lot of you have been reading the book and writing me really personal letters about your transformations, about what you resonate with. So if anyone here has been reading the book, share with me your epiphanies, what you've been resonating with. So somebody asked me recently, what's different about this book than your other books? Why is this book so important to you? And Sarah, you just got your copy today. So excited for you. Tell me how you like it. Tell me what resonates. Ma Danielle says, a great book. Smita says, you love the book. It's made me feel so powerful within. Hi, Khani. Dylan, Anita says she cried for days. Why? And don't forget to leave your reviews, guys. Kay says it's life-changing. Adriana says, I love the book. I'm 2/3 in. Star says, I got my copy. Can't wait to get started. I love this book. I'm finally awakening. Dina, it's totally different. It's to liberate ourselves from the shackles of the pain body. Just ordered it in India. Who's reading the book? So somebody asked me, I need to get a copy. Yes, David Olson. Get the copy. My Del Mendoza got the copy today. Wow, that's awesome. Trying to get the book, listening to the audiobook. Wish I had this book 10 years ago. I cried a lot and freed some rage. I'm listening to it on Audible. Going to get it soon. Life-changing book. Just got the book. Love how you define purpose. I have the audiobook. This book is for every woman I know. I admire you so much. Got my book, Priyanka. Got the audio. Your book is amazing. Everyone here has read the book. Amazing. Started reading your book. I hear my nieces complaining to their mom because she's exactly what you mentioned. I have to pick this up. I may need to read it again. Patiently waiting. Growth versus longevity. I'm finishing the Audible. Ordered the book. First chapter, Soul Erosion, Eye-Opening. Thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting the book. So somebody asked me what is so different about this book compared to your other books. And my answer was that this book is not only my most personal book, where I talk about my personal revelations, my personal journey, but it's just, you know, I'm a girl's girl. I'm a sister's sister. And not that I'm anti-men. I love men. But I feel for women because I see us so capable, so powerful, so intensely loving and nurturing, but we're just disconnected from the powerhouse that lies within us. And if only we could actualize this powerhouse of energy that's within us to use our nurturing principle, but to blend it with sacred boundaries and with a defined, declarative voice and a conviction of our inner knowing, we will blend our masculine with our feminine and we will truly save the planet. This planet, our earth, is burning, it's scorched, because I believe it is missing the radically awakened woman's leadership. And this is not to cast aside the men. A radically awakened woman doesn't need to cast aside anybody. A radically awakened woman keeps the men by her side because she needs them. She understands that we are interdependent. The radically awakened woman is in her heart, but she's in her power. She understands what the greater good for all is. And she knows that unless all are unequivocally healing, there is no healing for one. So the radically awakened woman is one who understands that until the masculine is blended with the feminine, it cannot just be the masculine, it cannot just be the feminine. The masculine and the feminine has to merge into an integrated whole, which means that there is room for all. There is interdependency. The toxic hierarchies we've been living with and the toxic dualities we've been living with crumble because they are what has ruined our earth. Look around you. There is intense capitalism, intense consumerism. The earth is burning. Our children are suffering. It's because we are waiting for the radically awakened woman. So this book is very personal to me because I see the power in us women that we have denied, that we have sidestepped and sidetracked in our desire to get love and worth. Because we are hungry for external validation, because we were raised to be pleasers, raised to be givers, raised to be self-deniers, so afraid of being seen as selfish that we've actually, because we don't want to be seen as selfish, we've given up ourselves. We just threw out the whole body with the baby with the bathwater. Because we didn't want to be seen as selfish, we ruined ourselves. And until we reclaim ourselves, we will not raise our sons and daughters to enter their empathy, to enter their empowerment, to enter their sacred boundaries and their masculinity. We will not, because we are disconnected from our voice. You know, when I left India at the age of 21 and I came to America, I promise you, I exalted the Western woman, okay? No knock on Indian women. Indian women are badass and amazing in their own way. But I thought to myself, surely the Western woman doesn't have Indian women's problems. Surely the Western woman is badass and in her sovereignty, and she doesn't suffer people pleasing. She doesn't suffer conflict avoidance. She doesn't suffer loss of voice. Surely the Western woman is different. And when I came here and I began being a therapist and working with woman after woman, I was like, holy smokes. The prevalence of inner disconnection is in this woman, it's in that woman, it's in the rich woman, it's in the white woman, it's in the Guatemalan woman, it's everywhere. And that's why I, for years, have been waiting to be done with my parenting books. I needed to write 3 parenting books. And the minute I finished my 3rd one, I was like, now it is time for me to do my passion project. And this is my, okay, I'm projecting into the future. I don't think I will love another book as much as this, because this is about my rebirth. And it's about allowing other women to birth. So it's very, like I'm a midwife to other women, like, come on, birth your true self. And this book reflects my birthing. So it's very personal. I imagine I will love other books I write, and I've got many under construction. But this one is very personal to me because I love women. I see us disconnected, and it frustrates me because I know that we are capable and unpotentialized. And when we potentialize and actualize our inner connection to ourselves, I have seen such a huge change in me. I don't know, for people who've been following me for years, you know, people tell me you sound different, you look different, you just different. And I am. And I am because my inside is transformed. My consciousness has expanded. And that's what this book is for you to do to yourself, to expand your consciousness. It is a book infused with my journey and my heart and my soul. I mean, it's just got 380 pages, which was at one point 600 pages of intensity. So I start the book with a love note. A love note to my sisters. I say a love note to my sisters before you begin this book. This book is about your awakening. It is an ode and an homage to your authentic self, the self that is waiting to be birthed anew. We all yearn to be free, and yet we feel encaged in our daily lives, consumed by fear and unworthiness. What these pages promise you is a path out of the cage toward a new vision of yourself. To awaken and evolve means to deeply understand ourselves. This involves befriending the parts of us that we may not want to see, especially our pain. when we fully accept our pain for what it is without sugarcoating it and certainly without apologizing for it, and we observe the many ways we have co-created it, we can begin to transform the pain into wisdom. So when I write a book, it's not biographical and it is not entertaining. I'm here to teach at my essence, at my soul. If you ask me, what are you, Dr. Shefali? I'm like, I am a teacher. More than a psychologist, more than anything, a writer. I'm just a teacher. And I just happen to teach about consciousness. This is my passion. This is my love. It is my gift to women, sister to sister, because nothing... Yes, I voice my audiobook. I recorded my own audiobook, yes. So nothing gives me more joy than to see a woman move from fear to power. I mean, there is something incredibly hypnotizing, mesmerizing, alluring about a woman who moves from fear to power. You know, when I look back on my own journey, I see how trapped I was, how afraid I was. And you know why I was afraid? Not because somebody out there was tyrannizing me, thank goodness. Not because somebody out there was holding me back, but because in my mind, I was more married to my image of how I should look to the outside world. I wanted to so be the good girl that I was... Sorry about that. I was more married to my image of the good girl, the savior, the one who was competent and could do it all, than I was to my authentic self. When I realized that you know what? You are just more married, more connected, more betrothed, more enslaved by your idea of who you should be than who you really are. And when I realized that, when it came front and center, and I realized that I am living an image, that I am living an idea, that I am living in my fantasy of who I should be, except that I was ignoring who I really was. Who am I now? Who are you now? Most of you, like I did for years, 25 years, 44 years, we are living in the fantasy of an image of who we want to project ourselves to be out into the world, because that's how we learned to get food, emotional food. It's not our fault. We needed emotional food. Who doesn't want to eat? We're like, we'll do anything. So we sacrificed. Yes, you can buy this book in bulk. Of course you can. You can buy it at Amazon in bulk if they have a bulk rate, but you can also write to my office and then we can help you. Anyway, so when our emotional food is at stake, we are very creative beings. We see it in our children. Our children are mutating themselves all the time to get emotional love from us. And this is what we did as well. So when we mutate, we begin to create an idea. You know, we decide as children, this is how I'm going to get love and worth. When I shut up, when I pretend, when I say yes instead of no, when I don't share my feelings, when I don't cry. So that's how I get love and worth. So that becomes the false self, the image. And most of us are living according to the image, right? Completely disconnected to who it is we are right here, right now. And for me, that was my wake-up call. That was my radical awakening when I realized I'm not living me. I'm living for that image. I'm living to have that image be approved. And then comes the big decision. Now what? Now what do we do? My entire life is created on that image. Now what? How do I let go? How do I dare? How do I start again? Right? And that's where your commitment to living this life authentically comes to the fore. And I had to ask myself, okay, if you have just one life, are you going to live it in your false self? Or are you going to live it to try to touch your truest, authentic version of you? Which one is it going to be, Shefali? And this is the question you have to ask yourself. What is it going to take? How many more rock bottoms? How many more dysfunctional relationships? How many more drinking episodes? How many more days on the sofa is it going to take for you to wake up to say, you know, I freaking have only one life as I know it. I may come back as a beetle or a caterpillar. I really don't know. So chances are this may be it in this body. So how do I want to live this life? Do I want to live it as a pawn to culture, to society, to my mom, my dad, my partner, to my children? And this is the liberation. When you realize that you actually, at the end of the day, owe only yourself your truth. That is a radical awakening. Now, you may think that's so selfish. You're just thinking of yourself. You're just propagating a narcissistic vision of the self. Not true. Because when you own yourself, when you are connected to your knowing, you actually emanate and radiate only interconnected, unconditional love. You know why? Not because you're suddenly some Buddha, but it goes together. Because when you are connected to yourself, you don't need other people. Now you'll say, Dr. Shefali, that sounds so selfish and so brutal and so cold. You don't need anyone? Yes, you don't need anyone, but you are interconnected to everyone. But you don't need people for love and approval and validation and worth. There's a big difference. You give, you don't need, because you are fulfilled from within. So, the question to ask yourself today is, what are you waiting for? What are you afraid of? Because let me tell you, once I went through my radical awakening and came out on the other side, I came out free. I came out unburdened. I came out, oh my goodness, I had no words. There are no words for freedom. You know, the free air of freedom, there are no words for it, okay? It is only an experience. Some things can only be experienced, like the smell of a rose, the touch of velvet, the beguiling colors of a sunset. You can't explain. The touch of a lover, the touch of a baby. How can you explain the softness of a baby's butt, the cheeks? You cannot. You have to experience it. So, like that, freedom is indescribable, but you become it, you feel it, you embody it. But you have to go through the hot coals of transformation. So this book is about the hot coals of transformation and the promise of the indescribable embodiment of freedom. So this is what I promise you in this book. If you're willing to receive, this book will deliver. It is written from the depths of my soul. And it speaks to intense cataclysmic transformation. So if you are ready for it, this book is ready for you. Get the book. Thank you for joining me on my book club. I will see you in my next book club when I see you.